Hey, what up, y'all? It's Lance Trading. This is week 8 of our weekly challenge, weekly update. If we go ahead and just look at how we did there last week, we almost had the same as what we had the previous week, not too much action. You know, ended up at flat week for the end. We had a couple good green days last week, but then we also were followed with selling. We're seeing a little bit of selling, not really high levels of volume. If you go ahead and look at the volume, it's still almost identical to what we had before when we were getting buyers. We're not seeing like this type of volume right here or high levels of volume, so we're still waiting to see how the market's going to go. It's still on a bull trend, so that's really nice to see, and overall the market's on a bull trend, so it's good to be as well invested in the long term. And we don't really care too much about day to day, but because we're not day trading, but this is really good to see. If you're new here, this is a weekly update from $10,000 to $100,000, and we'll be just looking at my portfolio breakdown as well as my portfolio progress, how my portfolio did, and my watch list for the upcoming week, and what my final thoughts are for this week. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. Alright guys, so onto the account overview. We can see that for the week we were actually up $57.05. That's 1.63% for the week. We are also up for the month 3.35%, and for all time we're also up 11.74% on this personal account. So that's really nice to see, some really good gains, and hopefully we can continue to grow on these gains. So on the TFSA, we are also up on the week. We are actually up a lot on this week because on my TFSA I actually hold my biggest position on economics, and economics had a really nice week. So on the TFSA we were up $200, and that's almost around 5% for the week. For the month, we're also up 3.86%, and all time we're up 5.37%. So overall, really nice gains. And with my positions, this is only short term. We're planning on holding these positions for a really long time, so this is really nice to see. In terms of the buys and sells that I did during this week, I actually sold around 10 shares of Bitfarms. Bitfarms, I bought around $5 last week, or the week prior to that, and right now it was almost at $7, so I went ahead and sold 10 shares. I still have most of my shares here, but that was the only sell that I did. So I can just allocate some of that money into other places that I have a lot of bullish sentiment towards. Also, the first stock I also bought was cars. This is actually not a stock, this is an ETF. This is an ETF with some of the best EV companies that are growing at a rapid rate. And I saw this on the discount, so I went ahead and took the opportunity to buy this. Actually down a bit because Microvision went down a lot this week, so down a bit, but holding this for the long term, so that is not a matter. So the next big position I did was this CLS. This is this new stock that I'm very bullish on. This is in the tech sector, and this is a stock that's currently undervalued, as well as it supply chain solutions globally. So I made this opportunity to go ahead and buy this on the dip. They actually beat earnings, but initially when they beat earnings, their stock dipped. So I took this opportunity to go ahead and buy them below the $10 mark. It's actually a really good buy because they haven't been under $10 for a really long time. And if you go ahead and just look at their 3-month chart, we can see that they haven't been below $10. So I took this opportunity to get myself a good price with a good margin of safety. And this is currently undervalued as well. So I took this opportunity to buy myself 15 shares. They are $10 each, so that is around a starting position of $150 for me. That was one of the other plays I did. I also bought a little bit of gold. This was with IMG, Gold Corp. They're really strong financials as well, and they currently dipped down, so I took this opportunity. And they also, this is a sector that is undervalued in terms of financials as well. So in terms of the intrinsic value, this was undervalued, so I took this opportunity to just buy a little bit of gold myself, and we're already up on this place, so that's really nice to see. And it should continue to grow in terms of gold prices increasing as inflation fears increase during this year. So looking at this, we can also see my new positions in terms of Lime Gold Corp. This is a small position that I currently started, but I plan on holding for this for the long term, as well as my position in CLS, as well as cars. So these are my new positions here. And then we also sold some in Bitfarm, so that has been reflected as well. Currently, our biggest losers are still AT, which we're holding for the long term, so that is alright. As well as the other big loser, it would have to be NVCN. And this is in the healthcare. They did see a dip, that is alright. We are gonna look for a better spot, and then we're gonna go ahead and sell some of these shares and just allocate this cash into better stock plays. In terms of the biggest winners, obviously GLX, which is up 52%. That is pretty insane, almost giving me a really good return. And honestly, the only thing I would wish is I put more money into this, even though this is already at 7% of my portfolio. But this is a play I'm really bullish on, so that's really nice to see. The other big play is Starter Lithium, another play I'm really planning on holding for the long term, and I see this even increasing, 28% increase there, as well as other plays such as Bitfarm, which has already seen a 30-year play. This is kind of due to crypto increasing, as we saw a dip last week, and that's when I took the opportunity to buying the dip, and that's why I already see a return of around 40%. So that's really nice to see. Alright, let's go ahead and just dive into the portfolio chart breakdown as well. So looking at my portfolio, we can see that Ideanomics is my biggest position, almost at 40%. This is increasing because of the price of Ideanomics is also increasing. So that's really nice to see, and as share price increases, this will also increase in the future. Enthusiast Gaming is my second biggest position as well, 7.5%. So that's a position I'm comfortable holding. And then Rolls Royce as well, 7.2%. This is also a big position, but I'm really bullish on both of these companies, and I plan on holding it for a long time. Next, other big positions are dividend play, 15 Split Corp, that's my dividend play, H2O Water Company, as well as Standard Lithium and Solar Alliance Energy, as well as Green Lane Renewables. Gives me good exposure to the green energy industry, which is continuously going to grow in the future, as well as the EV industry. I'm giving myself a good dividend around $9 per month, which is going to compound and increase gradually. So my other big positions would have to be in Bitfarms as well as China. They're currently around 4% each, 3 to 4%. Alibaba as well as Cineplex, which I plan on day trading. Sorry, not day trading, swing trading. We don't really use day trading here. But as we see more exposure with the coronavirus, as well as more vaccine rollouts, we should see more exposure to the cinemas, as people haven't been to the movies for a long time. So we'll see a little bit more exposure there, and the price of Cineplex should increase. So we'll be selling that. I don't really want to hold Cineplex for the long term because their financials aren't the best. They lost a lot of money within these 2 years. They didn't have a lot of business, so it will take them time for them to recover, and we're much better off putting our money where better opportunities are. So let's go ahead and look at the sector evaluation. You can see that our biggest sectors are within technology. Technology is a really big growth industry right now, and will continue to be in the future. So I'm perfectly comfortable having this being our biggest sector. Another big sector I have is renewable energies, as well as communication services. Dividends is my small positions, and then I have a couple in all of these small industries as well, in restaurants, as well as industrials, auto parts and equipment, crypto, as well as materials. But these biggest positions are where I see a lot of future, and I plan on adding more to actually these industries because they will have a lot of growth in the future, and they're one of the faster growing industries. Alright guys, before I go into my watch list, this is a player that I've been looking at. POW is the ticker symbol, POW Corp of Canada. They also do own Wealthsimple in one of their subsidiaries, so that's really nice. But I've seen their financials, and the financials are looking really nice, as well as their revenue, as well as their income. And something to keep in mind is their return on equity as well. And they currently also have a relatively low PE, which is rare to see in this current market with interest rates being so low. And they also offer a 5% dividend. And if you just go and look at their 6-month chart, you can see that continuous growth. And this is with the dividend play, so I'm going to be adding on to this position in my watch list. And currently their operations are also really nice to see within the renewable energy sector, as well as asset management and other business sectors, as well as giving exposure to the financial services in terms of Wealthsimple, which is going at a really rapid rate. They just recently did a funding for $4 billion, and they had a lot of investors pull into that. So in terms of this is a really strong play, and it is currently undervalued in terms of its intrinsic value, so I'll be adding on to this in my position. Alright guys, looking at my watch list, we can see that my dividend plays still remain the same: FFN, DFN, and DGS. So I really like these plays, and the reason I really like these plays are because they provide the dividend monthly, for one, and that is a lot better than getting it annually, and quarterly, because you can compound that money, put it back into more dividends, and then every month the dividend increases, which in the long term can help increase those yields, as well as the amount of money you get back. They also have really high yields, so that's really nice to see. And also they're currently undervalued in terms of what their previous price was pre-pandemic. So by buying this, you're also getting growth. So in terms of if you were buying them at their highest points, which you're not right now, so you're also getting exposure. For example, when I bought DFN, I bought it around $6.90, and now it's currently around $8. So I already saw $1 increase, and this is a dividend play, which is also having growth. So that's really nice to see. In terms of my growth plays, this is the new position I'm going to be adding, Power Corp Canada. Ticker symbol PAL. This is the OTC version, but I'm going to be adding more onto this position, as well as Liberty Global, which is also another play that's undervalued currently, and they also have earnings coming up. So if I get a good position, I'll be adding more onto this. Next thing is also going to be China Index Holding, which I plan on adding more. They did see a dip today, so let's see how it goes. But if I can get a better spot, I'll be adding more onto this. I still have more shares that I need to be added. Same with TMQ. TMQ actually we need a lot cheaper, so we're going to be waiting on this. ARK is actually dipping down this week with Tesla dropping, and bad news for Tesla. So if it drops even more, we'll be adding more onto this. The Beta Pro 2x Bold. This is something I want to add. If you see we actually had a really good strong S&P day, so if you see a dip, I'll be adding on to this. H2O is also increasing, so we'll see if we can get more buy on H2O, and then we might need a correction before we can get onto this buy. Same with NTWK. I actually it's seen a really nice run on $6 because of a huge contract renewal. So if it dips down, we'll be adding more into this position. And same with the FSI. We're going to be waiting on a little bit patiently on this to go around $3 mark, and then we'll be adding more as it's around $3.30 right now. Alright, just want to thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. I have a couple more videos coming up, so be on the lookout for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.